Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm just looking at the that's my alarm telling me it's 4 o'clock. I'm just looking at I think I need to switch it up. Bear with me a second. Hey, I'm back. Thank you so much for joining me today. Welcome to DIY Branding. So we've been off for 2 weeks, and today we are going to continue the conversation on how to create content for your brand. But specifically, we'll be talking about creating content that is aligned with your brand, understanding your brand, understanding what you sell, why it's important to think from the customer's perspective. We'll do a little recap of what we did in week two. And in week three, we talked about understanding your audience. So I just want to know if you can hear me. I don't know how the audio is. Hopefully, the audio is working perfectly. But yes, that's just a rundown of what we're doing today. Creating content for your brand, why understanding your audience is important for the brand you are creating content for. Because you do not create content for yourself, basically, you create content specifically for the brand. So I'm just going to take a screenshot, like I always ask everyone to do, and then I am going to see if the audio is working perfectly. So if you're just joining me, welcome on board. DIY Branding is back and we are back and better. I'll give the timeline of activities for the rest of the year today. And we're working on something simple and something fantastic that I think everyone will be proud to be a part of. But if you can hear me and the audio is clear, do you mind letting me know so I can start today's session? I'm not sure if the audio is clear, so please just say hello and we will get started. Also, we have a giveaway and I'm going to be revealing the winners today. I made a few changes to it and I added a couple of more slots. Okay, so I do what we call, before we start, I want to talk about the difference between my discovery call and my clarity call. Now, what you're going to win is a content clarity call. A content clarity call will be me and you going through your content strategy, creating something for you to implement, and then you going ahead to implement it. So it's in 3 stages, and that's what you win. And the discovery call is simply a call where I get on the call to understand who you are. I do that for every single person, and it's quite important that anyone that wants to participate participates. So please, if you can hear me, I want to know if the audio is good enough today. Fantastic. Grace says she can hear me. Hi, Grace. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm just sending out a reminder to everyone. So please send a reminder to everyone to join us. Hello, DK. Hi, Vivian. Nice to have you on board. So I'm sending a reminder to my team. Vivian, please put a reminder in the group so that everybody else knows that it's time for the session. I wish I could give someone my phone to send these messages. But anyway, so the discovery call and the clarity call are different. The clarity call is it's a little more intense because it helps you create your brand strategy for yourself. It's a DIY call, not a done for you service. So you're going to do the work. I will just act as your guide, and I have 4 to 6 slots to give. So I said I was going to announce the winners today. For those that DM'd me and already indicated their interest in winning, so I added them to the list, and I can see your chats. Yes, I can see your chats. Your chats can appear on the screen where I am. So yes, I can see your chats. I'm sure you can see it on the screen now. I'm going to have it displayed on the screen. You said the audio is perfect. Can you see our chats? Yes, I can. So I don't know if you've caught up, but let's get started. We've been blabbing for almost 5 minutes. It's 4 past 4, and I think that's a perfect time for us to start. So today we're going to be looking at something quite simple, which is creating content for your brand. I will start with a recap of what we did in week two, because in week two we looked at your brand audience brand connection. Hi Olabisi, thank you for joining me. In week 2, we looked at your audience brand connection. In week 3, we focused only on your audience. Today, we're focusing on your brand, who you are, what you do, why you sell, and how you can sell online, specifically on Instagram. So, we're going to be looking at the difference between selling online and selling offline. And I'm sure you will find it quite interesting as we proceed. All right, let's get started. So, as usual, we'll talk about what I call the branding basics, the basic things you should know about your brand. And this has nothing to do with your logo, with your colors, with your pictures, nothing like that. The branding basics I'm talking about will be different from the branding styling package or whatever you call your brand portfolio. So the basics are what the things your brand stands for. So it will be what you do, why you do it, how you do it, and how to sell online. Basically, it's time for sorry. Basically, it's time for us to all right, Vivian, thank you for doing that for me. It's for us to understand why our brand exists. So I'll be looking at the following things. Number one, why does your brand exist? Number two, what products and services you offer. Number three, how your unique selling points and your distribution channel help you stand out. And we've already done number four, which is who are you creating for your target audience. So we started with the target audience a couple of weeks ago, and now we are looking at why your brand exists. Every brand exists for different reasons, but if you don't know why your brand exists, you cannot communicate with anybody. My brand exists to help people create brands. I focus on content creation because when you've created your brand, you have to implement what you've created and put it in a visible form that people could see. So it could be about the post you put online or whatever you do. But content creation is part of brand creation. So I call it DIY content creation for what you DIY entrepreneurs or DIY branding if we're looking at it from the old perspective. So who are you as a brand? Since we've done this aspect before, I'm going to rush through it quickly. Just a reminder, if I'm moving too fast, do not hesitate to stop me. Branding is about standing out. It's about what people say about you when you are not in the room. It's about being different. So you're being intentional about being different. You're not leaving it to accident. You're not leaving it to chance. You're not leaving it to the wind to go wherever the wind flows. You are looking at your brand and saying, this is who we are. This is how we sound. This is what we do. In order to do that, you have to understand something. You must have brand clarity. Now, brand clarity is, hi, Anna. So, that's nice to see you. Brand clarity is about being crystal clear about what your brand stands for. So it is clear, simple, and uncomplicated. And as usual, I'll be using people's brands to do examples of what we are doing or talking about. If you want to volunteer your brand, just let me know. Just put something in the comments section. If it's a brand you're working on as a virtual assistant like Enasa or Vivian, and you need a bit more clarity about a few aspects of the brand, put it in the comments section and we will talk about your brand. So just a few rules I forgot to mention. If you have a question, you write the word question and then your question that you're asking. If it's a comment or a contribution, just write comment so I can tell the difference between both. And I'm sure the questions will pop up on the screen so you can also see the questions. And if you want me to focus on any question I miss one, just put it in the comments and I will definitely get to it. So a brand is BC has volunteered a brand. Awesome. So a brand is about your collective experiences of your customers. It's not about you. So I will describe BC's brand and BC will tell us what she does also. So it's about being crystal clear about what you do and why you do it. Because when you're not in the room, people talk about you and you want them to say what you are already, the picture that you're painting of your brand. This I can see your comment already. The picture you're painting of your brand is the picture you want them to receive. You can't say we're a customer centric, innovative brand, and then your innovation is how to preserve kilishi or how to do something that everybody else is already doing. You can't be a customer centric brand and everybody knows that your customer service girls are rude. You can mention some banks that you say, that one, The customer service there, they are always rude. That means the brand image is not being translated to the staff. The staff are not carrying out the function of the brand. Now, most of us work on our social media by ourselves, but we get to a time where we have to outsource it. So we need to have clarity. Clarity is the quality of being certain or definite. So we want to be certain. You want to be crystal clear. You do not want to leave it to imagination. So whoever is carrying out any function on your behalf will know that BC's brand stands for this. Now, BC, okay, so BC, just for others that are here, tell us what you do, and then we will take it from there to talk about brand clarity. But I understand BC's brand to a large extent, so I understand that she is an architect, interior decorator, and a coach. So our brand blends all these things together to help people generate income. So she looks at income generation for interior decorators. That is crystal clear what she does. Anybody that understands, that works for her or works with her, knows what she does. You want a situation when someone comes on your page and they're scrolling through your page. They know who you are and what you stand for. I have always worked on other people's brand and I was always careless with my brand. So I will be one to confess. I don't play the number games. I keep saying it. I post when I want to. I do whatever I want to do with my brand. But I was crystal clear on what my brand stood for, but I was unable to communicate it to people. So imagine me building other people's brand and neglecting mine. That's where I found myself. So this year, no, last year, I decided to be a bit more tactical with my brand, and I started focusing on what I wanted people to do. It became crystal clear to everyone else when they think about a content creation person, they call, oh, DK will be able to do it. But then I realized people did not know that I was also a brand strategist. So I had to go back to the drawing board, redefine who I was, and find a way I want to communicate that to people. Now, that's what brand clarity does for you. You do not get clarity overnight. You can get clarity after a while, and do not stop until you get it. Do not be in a hurry to gain clarity. Be intentional about it. Be specific. Ask yourself specific questions, and then you should be willing to answer it. So, BC, we're waiting for you to. That was a round of applause for BC to kind of get everybody's attention back on what we do. So, income generation for interior decorators, how they can generate income by selling products, by doing certain services. So she gives them a list of jobs that they can create for themselves, which to me is absolutely amazing. Anyone that does a contribution or asks a question gets a round of applause. So that's brand clarity. Now, brand story. Your brand exists for a reason. You need to know why you started. You need to know why you exist, why you got started. Those two things help you connect with your audience. Now, Busy says, I am an interior designer and a business coach. Fantastic. So that's what she does. She's an interior designer and a business coach. So she has taken the part of interior design. So people that want interior design can still come to her. But she's also a business coach for other interior designers. So our target audience are not just people that want interior design tips, but there are also people that work in interior design for the business coach part. She is clear on that. So she would not miss any opportunity to communicate who she is and what she stands for. Now, part of branding is about understanding why you exist. Remember why you started. Why did you get into interior decoration? Why did I get into branding? Why did you get started? People understanding why you get started makes them connect with you. If we think about the rags to riches stories, you find out that certain celebrity first of all started poor, now they're rich. You are able to identify with their story, and then you connect with them. If they bring out a product, you are more willing to buy it. Let's take Goodluck Jonathan for example. Before he became the president of Nigeria, there was a story about how he came from nothing and eventually had risen to a position where he could become the president. That potential, that story, people connected with it and they were able to vote for him. And that's what you want to do with your audience. You want to build that emotional connection that makes people know you, like you, and trust you. Because with the difference between digital marketing and face-to-face marketing is face-to-face marketing, I can meet you and convince you on the spot. I can read your body language and say, this product, she won't really like it. She's not turning her face. She smiled at this one. I can offer you that. But with digital marketing, we do not have that opportunity to see people's responses to what we are doing. So what do? We try and understand who they are. Let's take ourselves back to last week where we talked about, I said last week, the last session, where we talked about understanding your audience. In order to get someone to know, like, and trust you, you need to understand who they are. Understanding me as an introvert will make you realize that telling me that, oh, you started your business, now you have 10 Lamborghinis and you have a big garage, understanding my personality and how you will know that that kind of coach will not be someone I'll be drawn to. Busy's personality also, when people see her and she understands that audience personality, if Busy is creating a course for me, she will understand to talk about the importance of value because she knows me so well that she can create something that I will be able to respond to. And the essence of this is this: even for Grace, for Towards More. Grace does Towards More, which is about worship. It's about serving God with everything that you have. It's about understanding that people coming together, building that community of people that are just dedicated to worshiping God. I'm not sure if I got everything right. But now, Towards More is appealing to a certain group of people, people that are hungry for worship. So she won't come with the prosperity gospel, for example. She will come with the option, as opposed to be talking about what it is to be a God chaser, what it is to be a Christian, how to serve God with your gifts, how to serve God with your talent. Those are the kind of things that people she is looking forward to attend our events will listen to. When she shares her story of, oh, this is why I got started because I noticed that there was a vacuum, there was this thing was missing. Her brand story will also make people get attracted to her. On your website, on your social media, this all these things I'm talking about can be applied to anything. Your email marketing, try and build that connection with people where you are telling their stories and they are comfortable enough to fall asleep at you, listening to you, comfortable enough to put their guards down and pay attention to what you have to say. You don't have to sell all the time, but understanding why makes you understand this. People do not buy what you sell, they buy why you sell it. BC realized that there was a way that she could help interior decorators make income. And she said, oh, they were kind of stuck when they did not have jobs. She created a platform for them to learn and to thrive. Falakemi created vision boards because she saw that vision boards were being misused. Yesterday, I was talking to a client and I said, oh, you need to talk to someone about vision boards. And I explained why, because I understood that client. And she said, the first thing when you said vision boards, I was a bit skeptical. But the way you've mentioned that this person works with vision boards, I now understand the essence of doing it right. So she came on board to do vision boards right, and she's a vision clarity coach. So understanding why makes you define and redefine who you are to the extent that you are able to connect to people that are meant for you. Everyone isn't meant for you. Certain people are meant for you. Then your brand message comes next. What is the message you're passing across to people? Like I said, we've done all this before. My hope is to finish the parts that we've done by 4:30, then go into the ones that we've not done. But this is a recap. Fantastic. Isibeya said people do not buy what you sell, they buy why you sell it. So if we look at Isibeya's customers, for example, we have a women empowering projects. So that's a brand that he is representing. What is the brand message of women empowering projects? The message refers to the underlying value proposition conveyed and language used in your brand. So when they are communicating to people, women empowering projects is from the word empowerment. You can already see that they are there to empower people. How do they want to empower people? One thing they are positive about is changing people's mindsets by renewing their minds and making them start saying positive affirmations. So, positive affirmations, positivity, positive vibes, that's the language that they use to persuade people, to motivate people, and ultimately make them want to buy their products or their services. By doing that, when they have an event, they have loyal people that will say, Women Empowerment Project is doing something great. We need to support them. So it connects them with their audience. So, what you need to do is define your brand message, focus on the desired brand positioning. It must be relevant to your audience. Please, please, please don't overpromise. That's one thing I don't do. I don't tell you that the day you start working with me or my team, that you will get 10,000 followers. Someone was like, oh, what's this? I said, in every business, there's a risk. Are you willing to take the risk? I'm not going to promise you that you will do certain things when I know you cannot do it. Or I know that it's just the system cannot be rigged. You cannot buy followers and grow. So we do not overpromise. Whatever your brand stands for, your brand message must be crystal clear, where you are not over promising. In addition, you have to be consistent. You cannot have a positive mindset today and a negative mindset tomorrow. Rachel cannot be passionate and optimistic today, and tomorrow she's tearing people down with her words. Your brand message has to be consistent from the head to the toe. Do not change who you are just to please someone else. You must incorporate the brand message everywhere. So, incorporating the brand message in your captions for Instagram, in the conversations you have, in the comments you write to other people, in your bio. Every single thing you do must incorporate your brand message. Like I said, we've done this before, so this is supposed to be a quick recap, and we have just 9 more minutes. Okay, your core values are the values that guide your brand. I want everybody, I spoke about it last time. If you picked your adjectives for your brand, please write them in your comment section. Now, your brand adjectives are the words that you use to describe your brand. They are words that people, when people see your brand, they think of, they feel that way. So for my brand, I'm going to read out my own brand values. And my values are that I am very approachable. So for my brand, I want my clients to be able to see me and trust me. So that's one value that I have for all my staff. We must always be approachable. We shouldn't build a fence that people have to climb over. Yes, we will set boundaries, but approachability is a value that I practice and I preach. We are not we are very, very, very important. It's very important for us to pay attention to details. Why do we want to pay attention to details? Because we understand that the detail is what makes every brand different. So those are values that I cherish. Even if you don't have values, you've not chosen values, I will call a few values and then you can choose a couple. But for example, some brands are compelling, cutting edge, decisive, disciplined, distinctive, dramatic, driven, expensive. As in, I think it's Mega Design that said they provide affordable luxury. So they are very inclusive. Some brands are only like Rolls Royce. If you think about Rolls Royce, everybody can drive a Rolls Royce. They have a certain way they speak to people. Everybody doesn't own a Rolex. They have a certain way they appeal to people. So the words that we use will be exclusivity, royal, regal. Those are the ways they want to appeal to people. For your brand, pick adjectives that describe the way you like your company to come across rather than just your internal process. So professionalism is given. If you want to have a welcoming, quick thinking, spontaneous environment, whatever you've chosen for your brand values, it's important that you communicate that in your post and whatever you do. So now let's go to your brand voice and your brand tone. The voice is how you talk. That's it. It's how you talk and how you do not talk. If we look at the way Davido talks is different from the way Tiwa Savage talks. The way I talk is different from the way Falls we talk or the way Toke Makinwa we talk. You already understand that this post is from a specific person when you see what they say. So your voice, it remains constant, and like we said, your tone changes depending on the circumstance. So it's the way you sound. And we gave examples of this. We said Shopify is confident, not arrogant, empathetic, not overprotective, transparent but not blunt. While Mailchimp is plain spoken, genuine, translator, changes in B2B terms, dry humor. If I'm to describe my voice, I would say it's passionate, it's empathetic, it's very, very patient and transparent. We are not blunt at all. I know I'm using similar words to what they have used there, Olabisi, how will you describe your brand voice in on your brand tone? Describing your brand voice and brand tone is important. If we're describing your tone of voice, it will help us respond properly on your behalf. We will not just be responding the way we would respond. So that's why it's possible for me to post for someone else. I can post for someone else because I know how the person sounds. The way Neighborhood Kiddies Bible Club will sound, their voice will be nurturing because they are here to nurture children. Their voice will be very, very overprotective because they feel that they are meant to protect the children. They will be teaching. So they will just teach you in a kind and caring way. They are not dictators. So you know what you are and what you're not. If you don't know these two things, it's impossible for you to create a brand identity. These are parts of your branding basics. So I want everyone to find out the brand voice for their brand and the brand tone for their brand. Now, let's look at the tone. The tone is positive situation, they encourage. So in positive situations, BC will empathize with our people. She would speak to them in a positive way, tell them, oh, you've done this first step, now it's time to move to the next step. Falakemi will tell people, oh, you've gone through the clarity stage, now you need to move to another stage. They are very, very positive and reaffirming. But there are some brands that are very, very forceful. They will tell you it's your fault that you're not this way. The words they will use, they are very arrogant and forceful. They do not hide their feelings. Every brand is different. You need to define your brand in clear, specific terms. Know your voice, know your tone. Your tone adapts to change, your voice is fixed. Your tone could be informal but very clear and entertaining and tends to write very positively. Your tone could be very formal, very prim and proper. We do things in this way. I remember when EFCC had a page, the page was kind of informal, but now the language and the page have changed. That's because the person handling the brand changed. You want a situation that what you are doing, even if another person starts handling your page, no one can tell. So it's good to have words that you say and words that you don't say. Rachel will always start with "Hey gorgeous" because she sees everyone as having a gorgeous spirit. She will not say "you this mumu" one day because that's not the way she speaks, even if she's trying to drill something down someone's ear. Know your voice, know your tone. So now what do? Your products and services. Remember, we're talking about marketing online, promoting online. We made it in 30 minutes, so we are almost through. Promoting your goods, promoting your services, promoting yourself online. It's what I call your plug. Now you want to plug something into the world. You want the world to see that light that you're about to plug. But do you know what you're plugging? How well do you know your products and services? Do you know all the details? Do you know the benefits? Do you know what people stand to gain from it? Remember, we said something. People do not buy what you sell, they buy why you sell it. What's in it for them? Do not focus on only I can do this, I can do this, I have done this for this person, I am the best, I have this degree, I am a qualified life coach, I have created 5,000 vision boards. Fantastic, that's all good. You've given us amazing details. But what else? What's in it for me? We tend to focus only on what we can do. We are bragging and putting ourselves out there. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying don't sell yourself. This part is about selling yourself, and that's what we're going to do this week. We are simply going to sell ourselves in a positive way that focuses on the benefits that people can miss. The personal interaction is missing, so we have to think of a way to get what they do. So, like I said earlier, find out the goods, the processes, and every single thing you do. These are my promotional stuff, what I do, my plug. Isabella and all the others will know this as your promotional post. But from now on, we're calling it your plug. It's your goods and services you provide, your offers and your sales, your freebies, my blog post, podcast episode, my email list, the resources I create, the courses I create, the challenges I run, my Facebook group membership. These are all the services I offer. Now, what do you offer? Do you know what you offer? Do you know what your client offers? Do you know the details about it? Do you know why they offer it? I know I'm asking a lot of questions, but these are things you need to know to write a good caption and to sell online. Because as an authentic brand, you need to listen to people, you need to be sincere, you need to have integrity, and you need to be distinct. Why do you need these three things? I think for okay, we can come up with an acronym for this. But why do you need these three things? First of all, you need to listen to understand people. You're not listening to just tell them. Somebody tells you, I want this. You tell the person that's not what you want. This is what you want. The person says, no, I don't want this. And you keep forcing it down the person because you believe that's what the person should be doing. That is wrong. As a client, if you feel that as a brand strategist or a brand ambassador or a DIY entrepreneur, whichever you decide to call yourself, when you are posting for your brand, you need to listen to the demands of people. Everybody has needs. Create something that will meet the needs of people. So now DIY branding came up as a result of the needs of people. If you don't know what DIY branding is about, it's about doing it yourself. So it's a package I have created, and there will be more things released later in the year because I am listening to understand what people want. I am not just forcing what I feel they need to do down their throat. I know what needs to be done in the industry, but I need to understand what my audience wants specifically so that I can provide the best for them. I have to be sincere in all that I do. It is sincere in showing its need and appreciation for its customers. I don't tell them, "Oh, you can I don't need you. I don't need your money." I need to be sincere to show them that you know what, I appreciate what you've done by coming to me. Even if they are wrong sometimes. I know they say the customer is always right, but your customer relationship should be good. Do everything to set the boundaries you need to set, but be sincere. If something is not going to work for somebody, tell them that this package is not what working for you. It's like you give a dress to somebody and you know that the dress doesn't suit them, but because you need to make money that day, you say, ah, oh fine girl, this dress is fine on you. How many times have you gone to the salon as ladies and you made your hair and they told you you looked beautiful and you got them and everybody started laughing and saying, what were you thinking when you came out of the salon? Because there was no sincerity in that place. You may not go back for another service because they were not sincere. You do not want to miss an opportunity to be sincere and connect with your audience. Sincerity helps, so does integrity. Clear about his integrity and it shows it openly and unashamedly. You do not want to compromise your integrity for a pound. You do not want to compromise your integrity for 1 naira. You want to ensure that you are giving people what they need. You are being fair, you are being objective, your integrity is not questionable. You are not cutting corners after someone has paid for a service. How was my Yoruba? You are not cutting corners after someone has paid for a service. Think about it. There are so many times I saw a video of that. A man bought something and they packaged it for him. Someone else passed. I don't know if you saw that video. And they swapped it and gave him something else. It's just like somebody buying an iPhone and coming up and seeing that there's battery at the back or something. People are lack integrity. You want a situation when people buy your services online, they can trust you enough to send someone to you. There are so many stores you've bought stuff from online, and when you finish buying, you're like, I can never even tell my enemy to buy from this person. Even us as course creators, there are so many courses or webinars you go for that you're like, I just wasted my time. This person did not have anything to say because the person likes integrity. Do not compromise your integrity. So, as an MC, you will not compromise your integrity just because you want to make money. If the people have given you instructions on what to do, follow the instructions. If somebody else comes and says this, say, you know what, I it's the other video, I am not going to compromise. If I tell somebody, okay, I'm going to post for you twice a day, I will post for you twice a day. I'm not going to start doing once a day because I have integrity. If I tell somebody I will do something at a certain time, if I cannot do it, I would communicate. That shows that I have integrity. As brand representatives, your brand should have integrity, that when people hear about you, they're like, this person, no matter how much our prices are, she would always put you first. She will always do the best. Sincerity and integrity are kind of linked, but they are different. And then, most importantly, as you're being sincere, as you're listening, as you're having integrity, remember you are not like everyone else. I know I'm coming closer to the screen so I can look at you eyeballs to eyeballs. Ignore the brows. You are not like everyone else. You are different. You are unique. Celebrate your uniqueness. Every single brand is different. Every single brand is distinct. Do not copy every other brand because every other brand is doing this. Yes, we can get inspiration. That's all we get. Inspiration, not copy and paste. It is easy in the digital age to just copy someone's content and even go and refilm it for yourself. But but no, you are looking at what people are doing. And to avoid copying, look at a couple of pages. Learn what your niche market is doing and then learn from them. Don't just go and say, oh, I'm selling pure water, everybody's selling pure water, I'm fine with that. No, that's not what you want. You want a situation where if you are McDonald's, you're McDonald's. You're not trying to become Burger King. And I think that's the issue I have with a certain social media company which shall not be named. When any company, another app comes up and they are doing well, if you know the name of the company, you're free to mention it. Another app comes up and they're doing well. What they want to do is buy that app or create a feature for that on their own app that will go into competition with that company. You that is not what you are created to do as a brand. You're not saying somebody else is doing something. Oh, I must start doing it. Oh, because they refuse to sell their services to me, I'm going to start my own. Because a company called Talk is not is under scrutiny and they have millions of followers, I'm going to create my own feature on my own app. What will then happen is that app will become oversaturated, it will lose its focus, it will lose its meaning. And I did not mention any name. Olakemi, I did not mention any name. I just said be distinct. Be distinct. Be yours. I did not mention any name. I repeat, I did not mention any name, but you guys are on point. So you realize that you start losing your focus because you are trying to do what every other person is doing. Do not be greedy as a brand. I'm not saying don't expand. Yes, expansion is good. By all means, expand, but do not forget why you started while you are expanding. Don't say, okay, I'm doing women empowering projects. My friend is doing something about a book club. Oh, I will start my own book club. My friend is doing XYZ. She's now feeding the other. I'm going to do that. Oh, I'm going you before you know it, you're going to be overwhelmed. Nobody will know who you are and what you stand for. You do not stand for anything anymore. You stand for everything. Because it should be called the Everything app or the Everything company. We don't need to be booking anybody. We don't need to face any book. We need to be everything book so that we know that we are getting everything in the book. All right. So then, how do you plug in? So now this is where things get serious, and I'm adjusting myself so that you can see. What is a plug? A plug is what you promote or what you sell. For most online people, it could be courses, it could be documents people could download, it could be services. So it's something you are promoting maybe on behalf of someone or something that you are selling that you are gaining profit. It's something that you are hyping. Now, to hype is to put emphasis on what you do. When you can think about it, there's always an hype man makes you pay attention more. I'm trying to remember his name that has a an hype man or one Nigerian actor that has turned Instagram comedian. Kai. He has an hype man that is always hyping him whenever he's talking, and then the hype man says for shizzle and some things, and the hype man draws your attention to what he's saying, and he goes says, "I'm gonna shine," but I can't remember his name at all. The name escapes me completely. But he has an hype man. Be the hype man for your business. You don't need to employ anybody. Hype your business to the extent that anytime anybody sees your business, they know this person means business or about our business. Be the hype man for your clients. Anybody that sees your clients knows that no, it's not Dotun. It's an Igbo guy. He says I'm gonna shine. Then he has another song that is saying okay, I'm trying to remember him. It's not Brother Shaggy. Brother Shaggy does not have an hype man. Brother Shaggy is his own hype man. Brother Shaggy needs no hype man at all. But his name is Charles Okocha or something like that. He said, I'm gonna share. It's one that said accolades. He did one thing about accolades that went viral, and then his hype man would just be saying something by his side. But all I'm saying is, the hype man draws attention to what he is about to say, makes you pay attention to him. Be the hype man for your business. Let people pay attention to what you're saying. Find a way to get their attention. Distract them from all the Brother Shaggy and everybody that they're listening to. Brother Shaggy, sorry. Distract them for just 2 seconds to pay attention to what you have to say. But how do you do that if you do not know what you're selling? It's impossible. You cannot hype what you don't know. You cannot promote what you don't know. So what I'm saying is this: know your goods and services. Charles, yes, that's his name, Charles Okocha. Charles Okocha, very good. Um, in, how do you be your own hype man? Okay, so to be your own hype man, you should know your goods and services properly more than every other person. Understand your brand message more than everybody. Understand your brand voice and your brand tone so you know the way you appeal to people. If you understand your audience, you will know what will get their attention. So, for example, I am my own hype woman, and most of the things I'm saying, I'm going to practice them this week in full force. And we're all going to hype our products like no man's business. I'll give the instructions on Monday, you do it Tuesday, and then we'll give another instruction on Wednesday. That's how we're going to work. But when I give people too many instructions, people don't used to follow it. So we're going to give you small by small. Anyway, as I was saying, how do you hype your product? You hype your product by talking about the benefits, talking about what people stand to gain. You hype your product by knowing it and looking at it from two perspectives. You look at it from the seller's point of view, which is you, and the customer's point of view. So what you're doing is you're being an helping hand to the customer down there, and then helping them come to a position where they are comfortable. The seller is thinking of, I want to sell and make profit. The buyer is like, I want to buy, but I have so many needs. Which one should I pay attention to? So your job as your own hype woman is this: hype the benefits of what you've done. You can hype by hyping people that have used your products and services. Talk about what people will gain. Help them make their decisions. Don't give them too many options. Help them make the decision that they have to make. Sometimes some people have a need, but they are not aware of it. Put things in a place that they can make a proper decision on what they want to do with their brand. So, for example, I will use, if we can go over 15 minutes today, if that's okay by everybody, I will use two brands to explain. Okay, so now let's take Olabisi, since she asked the question and she gave our own illustration of our business. So Olabisi is, like she said, an interior decorator and a business coach. How will she hype her coach? She's going to think about it from her own perspective, the seller, which is, I want to make profit. I don't want to waste my time. I want to get returns on investment. But I want to, from the customer's perspective, what will make that person buy my product? If the person sees the need that they have, if the person sees other people getting results, if the person understands that it's about giving them the benefits they need, I don't just want their money. Because you're paying for it, that the service is so good that yes, I'm willing to put a price on it. So you hype it by believing in your product, selling it in a way that you are not just limiting yourself. You've created tailored benefits. You are removing all the fluffy stuff. Remove all the fluffy stuff. Take away the fluff. Go down to the basic things. Speak simple English. Don't complicate it. Uncomplicated messaging helps you hype your product. Hype it by doing promotional posts or plugging your product in. Do not overhype. If you hype yourself in every single post, everybody is going to be like, you're just talking. But if you hype the benefits in one out of your three grid where you've talked about the benefits, you go into your stories, other people are hyping your products, you're encouraging other people, you're tagging only relevant people to a post. That is about you putting yourself out there. Another way to hype your product when you've gotten to a certain stage is to do paid adverts, and in that advert you are talking about the benefits. Let people know what they will get. Tell them where they are now and where they will be when they use your product. So now they are confused, they are not making income, they want an alternative side. Some of them want passive income, they want a situation where they are getting return on investment, they are getting more clients. So if you don't do that, it's impossible for you to hype your stuff. Any questions, please do not hesitate to ask and we'll be ready to answer. Now, how to hype to convert, BC. So this is where we get personal. You make it relatable. You hype in your captions or your picture. You make your caption relatable. You make it informative. You list the benefits, have a call to action, and have frequently asked questions. Now you're going to have a template with all these things somewhere. So if someone should ask a question, you already have a ready-made answer to give. That's not when you're thinking of, oh, I need to start typing the answers and you make a typo and you forget to mention certain features. All these things should be somewhere where you can easily retrieve it, whatever system works for you. I have two numbers. I send myself WhatsApp messages so that when I need something, I can easily go to it. I'm not so good with using notes on my phone, but I want to get used to it. But in the meantime, I use WhatsApp. Find a system that works for you where you can have your call to actions that you want to use regularly, your frequently asked questions, the benefits of your products and the different services that you offer. And all these three things, you want it to be relatable and informative. So you are hyping to convert. You're hyping to convert an unbeliever to a believer. So a doubting Thomas to a who else? I don't understand it. What's the opposite of doubting Thomas? For someone that is doubting to a true believer. So you have to get social proof. What are others saying about what you have done? Get social proof. Create tailored benefits and state the benefits. So clearly state the benefits that your product offer for your audience. Address their purchase anxiety. I may be anxious of buying another content creation course because I have bought so many and none of them did anything for my brand. So I could say, I know you may have paid for other courses that have told you how to make an income, but this course is different because it's practical. So you've addressed their purchase anxiety from the onset. Think about questions that they will ask themselves that will prevent them from purchasing it. So if you think about products that you can ask, that they will ask you, so you're being forward thinking. Remember, you are looking at your audience. We talked about your audience. You've understood them so well that you will understand their purchase anxiety. So for example, someone that says, oh, why are you creating a planner? I don't need a planner. And I tell them that my planner is an all-in-one solution to your content creation anxiety. It helps you decide what to post and when to post. It gives you an opportunity to think on paper and get away from the computer so that you are able to express your thoughts and have. So I have addressed their purchase anxiety. The way to hype is by knowing the customer and knowing yourself, addressing their purchase anxiety, whatever will prevent them from purchasing from you. Address it before they say it. Don't wait for them to, oh, maybe I don't need it now. Fine, you don't need it. You can refer us to someone else that will need it. However, you are not being forceful, but you are making them understand that this would work. Someone else can say, oh, I don't want a paper edition. I would rather have a print edition. And I can go, oh, yes, we have print editions also, because I have understood that some people don't want to think on paper. Some people want documents that they can easily fill on this. We've created an option for you to fill a PDF file that you can easily just print out the pages that you need. That has addressed an anxiety that they may have. Someone may say, oh, I'm not ready to buy any products, physical products, because I don't have space anymore. I have created a digital product for you. I have 10 brands. Do I buy 10 copies for each brand? So you are you are thinking in advance of all the questions they would ask. This would take time. So what we are going to do this week is we're going to focus on hype to convert only. And that's what we're going to do this week. We're going to figure out, okay, what are the tailored benefits? How do we get social proof? How do we address purchase anxiety? How do we create great product descriptions? How do we encourage people to interact with their posts and by creating unique prompts? So find out a way. Oh, I repeated this twice. Find out a way to address these issues so you can hype to convert. I'm going to pause here for a few seconds and see what everyone is saying. Hey, Aboye, how far? So, okay, BC, you said you understood. Help people make a decision to choose your brand. Fantastic. Uncomplicated messaging, hyping to convert, address issues that they may have, address purchase anxiety. And she said, from doubting Thomas to persuaded Paul, you are there to persuade them. Any questions on hyping to convert before we go to the next part? Okay, I'll give you guys a few seconds since I know there is a little delay. Then we're going to move on to the next part. Now, part of hyping to convert is by leading people to your page. You want a situation where those that need your products find you. So, faithful Abraham, I like all the examples coming. You want a situation where those that need your products find you. Now, today we're just going to talk about hashtags briefly. This is a topic on its own. For a week, we're going to focus on using the right hashtags for our brands. Now, I'm just going to do this quickly. I said hashtags can be great for putting your brand in front of potentially millions of people. The right hashtags makes people find you because it could get you the likes, it could get you the comments, it puts the right eyes on you. So rather than using random hashtags, I see this thing and it pisses me off that BB Nigeria is going on. Everybody, even people that are selling, are just going to use BB Nigeria. It's not relevant to their brand. Look for hashtags that are relevant to your brand and then use them on your post. Use them as keywords when it comes to your YouTube channel. Use them as keywords when it comes to your blog post. Your emails go directly to the inbox, so maybe use them as your subject line to get people's attention. But see your hashtags as keywords. What keywords can I use to get the attention of people I need? Now, a keyword for BC is interior decorators. A keyword for Grace, for two words more, is Christians. A keyword for Grace is worship music, but that's broad. How do you now bring that down to suit your clients or suit your own brand? And that's a topic for another day. So we're going to go deep into hashtags because trust me, but use the right hashtags. Since we're focusing on Instagram, create a shoppable feed. Let your feed not look jaga jaga like people nobody wants to buy from it, but you're creating a feed that people will want to buy from, where they will stop and stare. So you have to ensure you take the right pictures. You are letting people know that you are selling. You are not just a place where they put fine pictures, but you are selling these products. So your captions and everything will be able to convert your doubters to your faithful persuaded people. Quality pictures. Invest in photography. Do not leave it to chance. Invest heavily in your photography because the way a food photographer will take a picture will be different from the way you will take a picture, even if you're good with SEO, aperture and all these other things. Sometimes let the professionals do their job and focus on what you want to do. By trying to do every single thing, you would realize that um you would realize that you are not focusing on what is important. Now, Grace has asked a question. She said, what if your service is not currently needed, like MCing? Okay, fantastic. That's a good question. Some services are not needed, so we need to rebrand ourselves. So we need to go with the time. So yes, you're still an MC, but you're doing it on different platforms. People are having Zoom parties, people are having events, people are doing things. You're reminding people that this is what you do. You're reminding them why you're good at what you do, that you take people important, that you draw everybody into the circle. Some MCs are making twice the money they were making because now they don't have to travel. They can stay from the comfort of their homes and host events every day. It's how they have rebranded themselves. So whatever way you find yourself, it's about a best practice approach, not a best fit approach. It's not a one size fits all. You have to adapt to the changing environment. Now, adapting to the changing environment for an MC may prove difficult because of the nature of the work that they do. They are used to just being in front of people and talking. Now you're in front of a computer, in front of a big screen, talking to different people. Look for activities people can do. Do online, go on Instagram live and host things that people can do. Look for ways that you can still communicate to people, that you are relevant and have been able to bring an online event to reality. Make it seem real, make it seem practical, make it seem like everybody is having a good time. So yes, it may seem on the surface like, oh, my services are no longer needed. Your services are actually in high demand. People need your services, but where are these people? So you need to define your target audience again. Find out who they are, find out where they are, and also define your services. Be specific about what you do. MCing is broad. Okay, what kind of things do you want to do? What kind of events do you want to do? Do you want to stick to faith-based events? Do you want to diversify into different things? MCing is broad, but I would say fix on focus on this. Make another thing we are doing when we're hyping our products, which I am guilty of not doing. I'm sure you all know that by now. Is tell people why now. If not now, when? Convince them that they need to buy your product. Create a sense of urgency. If you don't create a sense of urgency, they would not tend to buy. So creating a sense of urgency is vital because it tells people that they need to invest in what you are giving them. Make them click that buy button. Think about it. There are sometimes you don't need to buy something, but then you see it online. People shop more online. There are more options. If you have a store, you can't even display all your goods. There's limited space. You have to pay for this. You have to pay for this. But if you have an online store, at a glance, people can see all that you have. Make it appealing enough for them to buy. Make it in a way that they are buying from you, but create a sense of urgency. Some people use tactics like giving discounts. The discount code is going. Oh, this is almost out of stock. There's something Etsy does. They will tell you 9 bottles are available, but this product is in 20 people's baskets. That is a sense of urgency. So you quickly check out because you don't want to miss it. So you know that, oh, you can place your orders from me only on Tuesdays. I know, and everybody knows that, oh, there are only 4 Tuesdays in a month. If I don't book this now, then I won't be able to book for her till next year or something. So they will book the service now. And creating a sense of urgency, to me, as individuals, we are not lying, but we're being honest. We're being practical and saying, you know what, my service is so good that if you don't get it, you're going to lose out a big deal. Your brand will not be in the position it should be in a year's time. Come back to me in a year's time and see if you've grown, if you've not done certain things. Creating that sense of urgency is vital. It's very vital. If not now, when? So when they say, oh, maybe I will do it later, when is later? Put a definite sign on later. Some people have shopped, some people have had strategy sessions with me, and I just let them go. Some people must have come to follow me for vision board sessions, and we've not created that sense of urgency. So we're going to brainstorm together on hashtags and creative ways we can create a sense of urgency without having to tell lies. So now let's go to your Instagram bio. When last did you check your bio? I checked the bio for a brand recently and I realized that Uncle Chooks had not updated it since 2018. We are in 2020 September. Sometimes we put a bio link and we don't go back to it after that. We do not delete past events. We do not delete past things. But we should make a habit of making sure, ensuring that our links are updated weekly. Every week, when you're doing your brand audit, check that your links are working. If your links are not working, do something about it. Do not leave it to chance. Ensure that you know that the links that you've put out there are functioning the way that they should. So make sure your links are working. Then have a well-written bio. Isabella, I did not call anybody's name. Have a well written bio. Your bio should have a clear description of what you do and the value you bring. So, for example, my bio was like, oh, I equip people with the skills and resources they need. That's what I do. But people were not understanding it. I said, oh, without the overwhelm. Because my bio was not specific, people were not coming to me. So I'm using myself as an example. The moment I put brand strategies, content strategies, my DMs were open. Because I was very specific. I wasn't speaking big English, that blah, 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 blah. Cut out all the jargons. Be specific. What do you do? What value do you bring? And what benefits is it for the person? Remember, we're thinking about the person, not necessarily about ourselves. Because we're eliminating the middleman, we're making people come directly to us. So we are making sure that we have a well-written bio. Then, the controversy of your profile picture for your bio. Should you be a logo? Should it be a picture? If you are the face of your brand, please make it your picture. I'm the face of my own brand, so I can make it my picture. If it's a brand that you have no face, like Neighborhood Kiddies Bible Club, we use a logo. Rachel's brand, we use, because she's recognizable, we use a picture. I think we need to update that picture. That picture has been there for 2 years. But we use a picture and things like that. So we have to understand that every brand is different. Some people say, should I use a logo or should I use a picture? And my answer is dependent on you and dependent on your brand. Some brands are perfect with the logo. Your logo is just fantastic. People stop staring. But sometimes people want to connect with that individual. So the question of logo versus picture is one that people will keep on having till the end of time. Do what suits your brand, make it recognizable, and make it good. So we've come to the end of today's session, and I asked for 9 minutes extra, so hopefully you guys will give me 9 minutes extra to do the giveaway. And I forgot to mention we're doing a giveaway, so if anybody wants to win it, a couple of people have entered and have written their names. But if you want to win, let me know. Just write "pick me" and I will add your name to the list. Now, the difference between my clarity calls and the discovery calls are, the discovery calls are just a simple call to say, oh, this is what I think I want to do. We do not create a strategy after that. Now, the clarity calls are different. With the clarity calls, we go into your social media strategy, and it's in 3 stages. We audit, redefine, and implement. So we give you an implementation plan. That's what it is, and that's what I am giving away. I'm giving away 4. So if anybody wants to win that, please put your name in the description, and we're going to have a raffle. Today I already have 6 names, and I will just do a raffle. The smart will be meeting next week again, and we'll be sharing more tips. But for the giveaway, 4 slots available, and I am just going to go over there and work on that now. So, can you see my screen? It's gone blank. Okay, bear with me a second. Alright, it's not doing what I wanted it to do. I was going to share my screen and show you. Yes, I have a Grace. Okay, I will add your name to the list, Grace. Alright, Grace. Isabella, for your personal brand or for... Okay. Who else wants to be picked? While you guys are writing your names, I'm going to go to my eCam and see what's going on with me sharing my screen. Okay, fantastic. Can you see my screen now? Can you tell me what you're seeing on the screen? So that I can see if you can see the names. So if you're looking at the screen and you can see the wheel has all the people that have entered the giveaway or indicated their interest or DM'd me to win. And I have included Grace's and Isabella's name. Any other person that wants to be part of it should let me know. So what we're going to do now is I'm just going to give you 1 minute. Okay, Zoe's name is here. Okay, so anytime I enter at a pie chart, fantastic. Okay, it's a color chart, fantastic. So it's a draw. Okay, great. It's a draw. I'm simply going to will turn it around, and whoever's name it falls on gets picked. Okay, so the first person is unknown. Alright, I'm just going to write their names down. Alright, so that's the first person. We're going to remove the person from the screen. But basically, Onum has won a free strategy session. So I'm going to remove our name from the screen, and then we're going to spin again. So that is fair. So I don't pick partially. Ah, okay. But yeah, it's your friend that does mushroom. That's Uzo. Uzo has won a free session also. So I am not the one determining the winners. As you can see, I'm not being partial here. Okay. And the final one is okay. Let's see who's going to win it. Oh, that's okay. So we have four winners. I think we can. Should I do one more? What do you girls think? Should I do one more? Or should we leave it at four? So we have Onum, Mushroom Nutrition, Winifred, and Back to Books for now. And I think I will just do the bonus one I said I was going to do. And let's see who it falls on. Izibeya. There is one person here won. Okay. Alright, so did you guys see how the winners were selected? I want so that's it. We have chosen the winners for this. And next week, what we will do is every week we'll have kind of a draw, and we will pick somebody to win something, either a strategy session of social media audits and things like that. Okay, so I'm thinking of something, and I want to get your thoughts on it. That's why I said I asked for 10 to 15 extra minutes. Um, would you people like us to do a social media audit on live, where we will go through an Instagram account, go through the bio, go through the description, and show you a complete strategy overall, a complete brand overall? Is that yes? Is that a good idea? What do you people think? Should we do a social media audit? And if we're doing a social media audit, we'll need volunteers also. We'll get a couple of volunteers and use the wheel, because I feel the wheel is a very yeah, thank you, BC. I feel the wheel is a very, very objective way of getting people to look at making me not partial to the winners, because sometimes I would think that, oh, maybe I should pick this person. I can see that this person needs it, but by using the wheel, I am not the one determining it. So I like the idea of the wheel. I was thinking of getting a physical wheel and wheeling it like this, but I don't have space in my apartment. And when I found this website, thanks to Pat Flynn, I decided I was going to use it. But yes, I love the idea. So I'll put out a post, and then anybody that wants their brand to be volunteered for us to do the audits for their brand next week, we will do that. So we will look at how to hype your own products and services or whatever you do. But I think it's a fantastic way for us to communicate and get our points across to people, and prepare us for Christmas, so that we are able to restructure our brands, implement what we've done, then make changes if we have to before 2021. So by 2021, we all have a working calendar. That's my plan. because I was like, I like social media sprints, but I think what we're doing with this one is preparing for a marathon. And by the marathon, what we're going to do is we'll have, for now, these weekly sessions and what you're doing, warm up exercises, preparing you for this content marathon that I will be hosting in November, but the details will be available in October. I will put a link to that. Thank you. I love the wheel also. I'll put a wheel on how you I'll give you more details on the marathon. But I am thinking of hosting a marathon in November where we come together for a month, create our content plan, implement it, make changes if we need to. So by December 1st, we all have a good content plan, and by January 1st, after the Christmas break, we are just implementing and growing our brand, doing the auditing and seeing results. But yes, that's it. It's 10 past 5 and I'm a woman of my words. I try my best to keep to time. So thank you for the 10 extra minutes and for participating in the challenge this week. The task for Monday will be available on Sunday so that you have 2 days to do it. It should be available tomorrow morning, but it will be about hyping yourself. So I will give instructions on how you should hype yourself. If you want me to DM you, to tag you, just DM me. Otherwise, I will tag everybody that I think is here. But it's a great way for us to hype ourselves. Just a reminder of the work that we are focusing on. I'm just going to scroll down a bit, but just a reminder, we are hyping our products, and these are the things we are doing. We are going to get social proof. We are going to talk about the tailored benefits for the client. We are going to write a compelling sales copy. We are going to address their purchase anxiety. And you can start doing all these things before we come. However, I almost forgot. Please take a screenshot. I'm going to keep my best smile. Take a screenshot of this page because this is what you're going to do. I will put it on my Instagram page also, but take a screenshot of me smiling, put it on your Instagram stories, tag anybody that you think should be part of this. I took this out of the Facebook group because I believe we can reach a larger community with what we're doing. So thank you so much for your time, and I will see you on Monday on Instagram to see what you are hyping. But yes, start gathering the social proof of what you do, and let's get started rebranding our social media and hyping ourselves. Till then, I remain your host, DK Jonah, and we'll be here next week for another edition of DIY Branding. Stay tuned, practice, practice, practice. Be warming up for your marathon, and I'll give you all the details on Saturday. Cheers!